Good morning. Sorry, I was muted there and I didn't realise that until I turned it on. How are you all today? Yes, on this beautiful Tuesday morning here in Australia. This is Black Crow Walking, reading A Course of Love by Mari Perrin. And we're up to chapter 5, verse 10. Love gathered together is a celebration. Love collected is a mockery of love. This difference must be recognized and understood, as must the urge to set love apart from all the rest. For with understanding these urges can be made to make sense. With understanding they can begin to bring sanity to an insane world. So obviously we have to understand this today. You do not yet believe nor understand that the urges that you feel are real and neither good nor bad. Your feelings in truth come from love. Your response to them is what is guided by fear. Even feelings of destruction and violence come from love. You are not bad and you have no feelings that can be labelled so. Yet you are misguided concerning what your feelings mean and how they would bring love to you and you to love. Well, I'm not getting it, so it must be big for me. I'm going to read chapter 12 as well, verse 12 as well, because I want to get a little bit more context in here. It is in understanding the relationship that exists between what you feel and what you do. It is understanding the relationship that exists between what you feel and what you do that love's lessons are learned. Each feeling requires that you enter into a relationship with it, for it is there you will find love. It is in every joining, every entering into that love exists. Every joining, every entering into is preceded by a suspension of judgment. Thus, what is judged cannot be joined nor entered into where it cannot be understood. What is judged remains outside of you, and it is what remains outside that calls you to do what love would call you not to do. Okay. What remains outside is all that has not joined with you. What has joined with you becomes real in the joining, and what is real is only love. All right, beloveds, let's have a look at it. See if we can make some sense out of this. We've been talking for days about joining our hearts in love together. And I think this is taking us a step further today, but let's see what it says. Love gathered together is a celebration. Well, we understand that, don't we? I celebrate you, you celebrate me. And let's show each other love. Let's join together in love. Join collected. Love collected. Sorry, my eyes don't see things sometimes. Love collected is but a mockery of love. So what does that mean? How do we collect love? Oh yes, yesterday we talked about collecting love in terms of objects and things, like birthday cards and objects of love, cars, photographs on the wall of our family, objects of love. Love collected is but a mockery of love. This difference must be recognized and understood, as must the urge to set love apart from all the rest. For with understanding these urges can be made to make sense. We need to understand there's a difference between putting a photograph on the wall and actually loving the person in the photograph. So when we recognize and understand the difference between setting something or collecting objects of love and actually loving, then we join with that person in love. We don't just stick their photo on the wall. With understanding, they can begin to bring sanity to an insane world. You do not yet believe nor understand that the urges that you feel are real and neither good or bad. What labels things as good or bad? It's only judgment, and judgment keeps us separate. Judgment is based on fear and superiority. Your feelings in truth come from love. Your response to them is what is guided by fear. Okay. That one there is something we need to think about. I'll read it again. Your feelings in truth come from love. Your response to them is what is guided by fear. I know I've had responses to fear because I'm feeling unsafe or I'm feeling, feeling fear, basically. Everything that's not love is fear. And so when I'm feeling fear, I'm guided by fear. When I'm feeling unsafe, I'm guided by fear. And I don't want to be guided by fear. I want to love. Even feelings of destruction and violence come from love. Why is that? Because we are the very essence of love, that is feeling. This formless being inside us is love, and it feels into. And it can feel the violence in the world, and it can feel the destruction in the world. But our response to that, if we buy into the fear and the thoughts, and it's the thoughts that create judgment, then we're not coming from love, we're coming from fear. You are not bad, and you have no feelings that can be labelled so. So when you're feeling something, it doesn't make you good or bad, right or wrong. That's fear-based thoughts that are determined to judge you and set you apart from others, to separate you in some way from what is happening in the world. Yet you are misguided concerning what your feelings mean and how they would bring love to you and you to love. Yet you are misguided concerning what your feelings mean and how they would bring love to you and you to love. It is in understanding the relationship that exists between what you feel and what you do that love's lessons are learned. We feel everything. That's part of the system in our body, in our auric body, our feeling body, our emotional body. We're designed to feel everything. It is what our mind takes and does with that feeling that either creates love or a lesson learned through fear. Do we need to learn those lessons? Each feeling requires that you enter into a relationship with it. That's interesting, isn't it? Can we just let a feeling pass? Just come in and go out? Or do we have a relationship with it? This is saying we do. For it is there you will find love in relationship with your feelings. Feel into the love inside you and begin to know. Begin to know love. Notice the feelings, but don't attach your thoughts to them. Don't attach stories to them. Don't attach judgment of good, bad, right or wrong. Just let yourself feel and begin to know from the heart of love. It is in every joining, every entering into that love exists. Can you join your heart with love? Can you join your heart with everything on this planet, including the humans? Can you join your heart and offer love despite what they're doing? Let that love shine through you. Every entering into is preceded by a suspension of judgment. That's right. If you're loving, you're not judging the person. You're just being present with them. You're just being curious and interested, but not judging. Suspend your judgment in order to be able to love. Thus what is judged cannot be joined, nor entered into where it cannot be understood. What is judged remains outside of you, and it is what remains outside that calls you to do what love would call you not to do. When love is outside of you, not inside, you make all sorts of irrational decisions about love. I know what that's like. I've had relationship after relationship that's been based on something outside me. And I don't do that anymore. Love is inside me, and I join with you in the heart of love without judging. Let me read it again. What you do, what is judged remains outside you. It is what remains outside that calls you to do what love would call you not to do. What remains outside is all that has not joined with you. What is joined with you becomes real in the joining, and what is real is only love. Love is all that is real. Everything else is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. It's a thought base. It's something that you manufactured with your thoughts. It's not real. And most of us aren't game enough to actually even confront that and ask if what we're thinking and feeling is correct about the other person. Is that what they're doing? Are you willing to check in? And if you're not, you're just creating and living in illusions. Join your heart with those that you meet today. And if you can't join your heart with them, look at what the feeling is and sit with that feeling without thought and begin to know what it is that keeps them outside of you and not in your heart. I love you, beloved. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.